Hi all, welcome back to the channel. With the price of Ethereum going down and now the announcement with Ton coin coming to an end here shortly from a mining perspective, I thought I'd take a look at profits. I see a lot of conversations about efficiency, um, but I think really when I'm trying to judge what to do with overclocks and what coins to mine and things like that. Ultimately, what I'm looking for is the ultimate outcome. And for me, that's, am I making money on these coins? So I decided to throw together a sheet, and this is roughly based on the price of Ethereum and Ton coin on May 26th at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so what I did was I looked at each of my cards. I have about 20 cards running in 4 different rigs. You can kind of see some of them here running behind us here. I've got a 12 GPU rig. I've got a 6 GPU rig. I've got a couple of GPUs here. And I've got one more that is running on my standalone PC. And so I averaged out all the cards. So in most of these cases, I have more than one of these cards. With the exception of the 3090. I only have one of those, only have one 6800. And I don't have any 3080 Ti, so I actually averaged a couple of different cards that I saw people record videos on online with what they were getting with Ton ETH dual mining. So the reason I chose Ton ETH, if you go out and look at like any of the hash rate trackers that are out there. Let's take a look at hashrate.no. If you go look at the card, let me zoom in here a little bit so you all can see this better. You go look at the card that you have. So for my instance, let's say this 3090, you click on it and it will generally tell you the fastest or the highest profit item is ETH Ton. Every once in a while, lately, you've been seeing CTXC jump in here. It's first time in a while I've seen that. But most of these cards, at least at noon today, were reflecting ETH Ton as the highest profit. So it is kind of interesting to see that that's changed. I bet it'll probably flip back tomorrow. Let's see, let's look at a 3080. It is still ETH Ton, but just barely. Actually, it's actually CTXC. So interesting. So that may be an option to look at that, but for the most part, ETH Ton has been kind of widely recognized as the most profitable, so that's why I chose it. And so looking at ETH Ton, what I did then is I took like the average of all my 3060s, and obviously these are full unlock. This is using LOL Miner 1.51 Alpha, which is the newest one that is out. And you can see that the average of those cards were almost 49 mega hash on Ethereum and 1.17 gigahash on Ton. I took the power from the system. I've measured power before. I know this isn't perfect, but I've taken the power from the system. It seems like the motherboard and the NVMe drive, that whole process takes about 22 watts on both main boards. That's probably not true on the ones where I have just one-off cards running. So take that with a grain of salt, but this is a pretty good average, I think. And then I calculated some efficiencies in there. You can kind of see I also have a pretty good size AMD rig that has 5600s, 57s, several 66s, 67 XTs in it. So I have those on here too. And so then what I did was I went out and looked at my current power. So I was fortunate enough to lock in Texas. You get to choose your power company. About a year ago, I locked into a 3-year deal at 0.082 cents per kilowatt hour. I think that's probably a pretty good rate from what I've seen compared to most folks. So then I also looked at some common rates I've seen out there, like 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, and 30 cents, and then reflected on each one of these cards what you would see. Uh, so as you can see here, this is my current power rate, and with this 3060, I'm making about $1 per day. And then if somebody were paying 10 cents, this is what they would make: 15, 20 cents, and 30 cents. And then I also went ahead and calculated a break even. So this would be the point where maybe it doesn't make sense to mine anymore. In fact, I would argue with the heat that comes off of these, increased, air conditioning you might have in your house in the summer, those sort of things, you probably don't want to get it all the way down to zero, but this is the zero number. And so with today's ETH prices, if your electricity was 32 cents, you could do all the mining you wanted with a 3060, and you're going to make no money because you're going to pay out as much in power as you do in profit. And so you can see I did a breakdown between the 3060 Ti. These are Gen 1. These are both full hash rate NVIDIA cards. And then Gen 2, these two cards have the Hynix version 2 memory in them, so they're able to run at a lot faster rate. And you can see they make a little bit more money than the full hash rate old memory cards. I believe both of these are Samsung memory. And so you can kind of see the break evens, and something interesting kind of came up with this. The card that seems to be the most profitable versus energy actually ended up being my 6800. It's not an XT, but it should roughly be the same as a 6800 XT or a 6900. And the one that I could run the longest, second longest, was actually a 5600 XT with a BIOS mod on it. And then next after that was a 6700 XT at 0.39, and then everything else kind of fell in this kind of really 0.34 to 0.35 rate. I just thought I'd share this because I know this is kind of weighing on everybody's mind is, at what price do I have to stop mining? So, I'll try to update this ever so often. If people are interested in it, let me know. And when we have a major move in the Ethereum market, I will update this and post a new video. If you haven't before, please, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Trying to gain a network of people that are miners, so we can all stick together through the Ethereum merge and find our paths in the future. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a message, and I will definitely subscribe to your channel as well. And look forward to having more conversations on this. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful, if you want to see updates on this, and I'll definitely do more.